So whoever's gonna take notes, can we just send them to me after? Okay.
Put them up tomorrow at work and send them. Is that okay? Again. Okay. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to March 18th, 2026 Historic Preservation Commission meeting. It is 6:12 p.m. right now. Let's start off with a roll call. Do I start now, or do you want me to make the motion now?
Let's go ahead and do roll call, and then we can do the minutes.
Okay,
And then we can make that motion.
Perfect. I didn't want to jump the gun.
Yeah.
All right, roll call. I'm Annie Ballmer.
Karina Pace.
Elizabeth Allen,
Krista Hutchison.
Melissa Day, Wendy Yatsett, Tasha Lowry.
Nancy Nichols.
Jennifer Ostrowski.
All right, and did everyone get a chance to read the minutes from last month?
Yes.
Do we have anyone with any changes?
No.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from February? February 18th, 2026.
All motion.
All right, in a second.
Second. Me too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Minutes approved. All right, and before we dive into things here, we are going to make a motion to move items 3D and 3E after 3A, so Nancy can get out of here a little earlier. So can I get a motion for moving the 3D and 3E after 3A?
I motion.
Okay, and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion approved. Okay, it is time to jump into things then. I guess I'll turn it over to you, Kirk.
Okay.
And that's it, open.
Well, good evening, everybody. Great to be here again. Can I just get a sense of, are there new people on the commission or newish since I've been here last time? Everybody's been here?
Well, I remember you last
Okay.
time.
Okay,
I'm
good.
new, but I'm not
Newish.
really voting. She's our council liaison for
Oh.
the year.
Okay, awesome. Glad you're
So-
here. Thank you for being here. All right. Oh man, that's so pixelated. Sorry, low res. But that's why you hire us, so we go out and take the high res. So yeah, I'm Kirk Huffaker with Kirk Huffaker Preservation Strategies, and we're really excited to be doing phase 2 of your reconnaissance level survey coming up here in the spring, really, and this is the launch of it. So this is where we talk about our methodology, where we're going, what we're doing, give you a chance to ask questions about how we're planning to collect the data and document all of these great buildings you have. Just get a sense of that. So, and of course, this is really a partnership, mainly between the city, of course, you, the Preservation Commission, and the Utah State Historic Preservation Office. So that's who I certainly look to as the experts in the state. They are also the ones that review all the information we collect and make sure that everything meets National Park Service standards. And so they are a big partner in this as well. And then you, of course, as the client, we want to make sure that you're happy with the product that we give you at the end. This is our team. Mason and Jessica have both been out here as part of phase 1. I brought them out here and was involved in both the first round of surveys with Town Center and Kimball's Lane. And so they both have had a little bit of flavor of what we're looking at here. I'll also mention Jessica used to live here in Draper. She grew up here early in her life before they moved to Riverton. So she's really familiar with Draper as well. So she is really excited about this because it's a place very familiar to her. So, but this is our team. I don't do it alone. I can't do all of this by myself. So, but that's a great team. So really, we have these 3 main goals with the project. We want to conduct the reconnaissance level survey to these National Park Service standards and the SHPO standards that go with that. to ensure that everything is compliant. They do have a high standard, a high bar for us to reach for documentation of all of these buildings. And they want that because we need to have solid, clean data to base future work on. So whether it's the commission doing the work, Jennifer in planning doing the work, the city council, we want to have good data for that. Number two, providing opportunities for the public to come. This is a public meeting, and you know, sometimes, but and understand the process. I think the meeting where we present the results at the end is a little more exciting because we get to see the fruits of labor, of course, and provide input. And then third, we have our due dates here. We want to complete the major part of this, which is the field work here by the end of April, and get that draft report to you by the end of June. So those are our contracted deadlines for the project. So that means if we get a final report, a draft ready by June 30, SHPO is going to take 30 days or so to review. You're going to have an opportunity to review and comment as well. We could be back here, you know, early August, potentially for report of the results. So, all right. So what is a reconnaissance level survey? A lot of you are probably familiar with this. This is a similar process that we did for the first round. It's a little bit different. In that this is really a selective survey, and the first one was maybe a tighter area with a selected survey. This is a much broader area of selective survey. We've certainly appreciated that groundwork that you all have done in identifying the properties that we need to look at. And this is really just the first cut of what we're looking at in terms of what might be historic out in the landscape. So with this survey, we're looking at everything older than 1975. So more than 50 years old at this point, 51 years old. But then we're having to look at the visual quality of the buildings and see if they meet any other historic criteria to be eligible for the National Register, because that's eventually what you want to know. How many eligible buildings do we have? How many that are truly historic or potentially historic? So this is really our process in 4 steps. We're going to go survey those selected 423 properties across the city, do some research on those. Maybe there are groups of those that seem to go together, or eras of buildings that seem to fit together that might share some design relationship. We take that research and the field work, we produce the final report that gives you the totals, what kinds of buildings you have out there, and a context that goes with that to present some history of architecture in Draper City. And then we present those results at the end. So those are the 4 kind of big steps. Here's a little bit more of a breakdown of that. Like with field work, we do data collection. So we're standing in front of buildings and collecting information. We take photos, do that research. And in the final report, we do analysis of drawing comparisons and contrasts to maybe different parts of the city. So we may see a certain theme or like a subdivision that might really stand out to us. And we'll be able to point that out and provide some analysis of those key places that we see preservation having great potential. We do our own GIS mapping that will then sync to the city's mapping as we share shape files and things like that. So you can have those kinds of overlays in the mapping system. And then, of course, our end with review, comment, and editing, and final approval. Any questions about process? I've kind of gone through a lot of that real quick. Here, oh, I don't know what happened here. Sorry. I cut off in translation. But here's a zoom in of the map. And there it's been broken down into several kind of sub maps of what we're looking at, which is really helpful. Jennifer, you guys, I know, put some time into that. And GIS wise. So this is just super helpful for us to know, exactly where we're going, and then already have these kind of sub maps created. That'll make our field work much easier. But I don't know, does anybody recognize sort of any areas, like I just talked about subdivisions and sort of sub areas that stand out as unique to you?
I was surprised by the top left one that there were properties before 1975 in that area.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Oh,
because it seemed like it was all one subdivision that was.
huh. Okay. Well, yeah, some of them got saved in there, I guess. There's still some scattered.
Mhm.
So,
That's through, they're pretty chunky, there's lots there,
yes.
very concentrated.
Yeah, that's gonna be relation, Bolter,
Mhm.
stacking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, I kind of feel like we have a bunch, down here further south, and I really haven't been this far south.
Where is that
Thank you.
exactly?
That's gonna be like 138
My house.
area. Your house is on there.
Yeah, my house.
Yeah.
I can guarantee it.
All right, one day you'll see us standing.
Yeah.
in your house.
Still know why.
It's an old house.
Okay,
I mean, that's really historic Draper, right?
Mhm.
That's the older sections of
Mhm.
Draper. That's where
Yeah.
the eight farms were.
Yeah.
so what we're looking for, just to go over this again, we're looking for properties that are at least 50 years old, unless we see exceptional significance in its architecture. Potentially, it could be less than 50 years old. We may catch something out there, and we added a couple to the last survey that we saw, and we're just like, oh, that's like right on the border. We're just going to catch that. That is so weird and unique, and so we brought a couple in, and we might find something here too. It must retain strong architectural integrity. So really the rule of thumb there is, would the original owner come back and recognize that it's the building that they built or that they lived in first? So does it have, original siding? Does it have windows? Not intrusive alterations like big additions that overwhelm the original house, things like that. For commercial buildings, it's kind of the same. Does it have a storefront that's similar to the original? Signage, does that look original? The parapet and detail around that. So we look for things like that. And then in addition to that architecture, age, and integrity, we look for the significance in at least one other area or one area. If it's just about architecture and design, then it's criterion C, significance for architecture. There are situations where criterion A or B may apply, A being the patterns of social history. So a lot of times that's our education buildings, religion, commercial buildings can fall under commerce. And so those are really talking about the broader community and how it evolved in different ways. Outside of just being a building itself and architecture. And criterion B is association with a significant person. That's a much higher standard to reach. There's not very many criterion B nominations or eligibility statements out there. Somebody has to be very important to be under criterion B. So, all right, any questions about evaluation? So I'm going to go through just step by step what we look at when we are standing in front of your house with our clipboard, and we have a camera with us. And so we're writing down a bunch of information. So certainly your address, so we know where we're at. We're comparing it to the map, making sure we're in the right place. The age or date of construction, which we base as architectural historians on our knowledge. And the periods of architecture that we know in
Starting back up. I'm probably gonna go find I'm gonna go find a recorder though, to record the rest of the meeting, just in case it does pop back up. Okay, we're recording again.
Great.
So you guys can go ahead and keep talking. I'm gonna grab a actual recorder though. Just
Just in case it doesn't,
So I'm gonna ask my question then.
Okay,
So
yeah.
just thinking outside of the historic theater. Do you care what's happened inside?
No,
No, so if they've totally gutted it and
Yeah.
put in all new seating and everything,
Not my
that
business.
doesn't matter to you. Okay, that's interesting.
no. Yeah, you have a, 1915 Pioneer house and you've made the inside completely white and sparse and minimalist and modern. I don't care. That's not my deal. Just the outside. So, so last thing just about evaluation, the other, I was talking about, it may not be eligible because of changes, big changes, or it was built after 1975.
So what if there were like changes
before 1975?
Yeah, any alterations before the period that's enabled that balance right there.
So does this one have significant?
So, but really,
No.
Oh,
now we're back. Okay. So of course, we write down all the materials that we see on the exterior that are used, main materials, secondary. This building's really easy. We can go up and touch it, it's right on the sidewalk. But if we're 100 feet away from the house, we can't necessarily tell if that's vinyl siding or aluminum siding. We're going to make our best guess from 100 feet away because we never go on private property. So this is always from the public right of way that we're observing everything. It did turn off very quick and then it turned right back on.
Yeah.
So,
so it said, anyway.
so it says.
So it said, yeah.
And then we look at style. Again, it's based on our knowledge. And we confirm it later, what architectural style building is. The form, and form is different than style. Like this building, we could call art moderne in terms of its style, but its form is a one-part commercial block because it's just one story. It's really just one storefront. So it's one part is what we call it. So, and every building has a different form and style. We talk about its use, both its original use and its current use, which may be the same, but it might be different. We also note any landscape features. So maybe there are historic fences or unattached garages that are from the historic period or not. We count every building on the property, shed, garage, coop, whatever it is. And we note if it's potentially historic or not, just based on age, integrity, a little bit less on outbuildings. They can change a little bit more than the primary building. But we note all those landscape features. Natural features do not matter. We don't note trees, bushes, flowers, stuff like that. Really, it's just hardscape. Outbuildings, like I just talked about. We take at least 2 photographs of every property, two at least of every primary building, and then 1 of each outbuilding as well. So, and all of that data, you get at the end. So there are a couple of exceptions. We do run into these. It's good for you to know. So if we cannot see the building clearly from the right of way, say it's got a long driveway and we can't see around a tree or whatever, we're not going to walk up that driveway and take a picture of it, okay? We're going to note it on a separate list saying this has been skipped and this is why. The other one is if there's a no trespassing sign on some sort of what looks like a public street, but maybe it's a private street and it says no trespassing or there's gate. Of course, we're not going to go up that road. And so there were some of those that first round that we ended up having to skip. So I assume we'll have a few this round as well. Any questions about kind of what we do? We try to do all of that in about 3 minutes.
Wow.
So it's just based on what you see, like you're not bringing old pictures in to compare.
We do that later.
Okay.
Yeah, during the research phase, we'll go and
Okay.
we'll try to find historic photos in a lot of different places so that we can see if there's possible changes. Especially if there's a question of whether or not a feature is historic, then we really want to get those photos. And usually there's a dozen or so every project that we really need one.
Do you tell the owners that you're coming to look at this, or
No,
just take pictures and leave?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we talk to people when they come out.
Yeah, I can, at least we can post it on our social media,
Yeah,
letting people know.
okay.
You can talk to me when you come to my house.
Thank you.
It's about my house.
Yeah. And sometimes people do. Sometimes, that's how we learn stuff the last round. And, that's fun. Some people really get into it and some people are like, please go away. So, and then they're like, well, who do you work for? And I tell them me and they got hired. And so, and then I give them Jennifer's. All right. Let's see. All right. What is your role here? What do I foresee your role to be? And really it's the, from survey to survey. So you've already refined really the survey area and the boundary. Holding these meetings, of course, is important. These have to be public processes. Reviewing the drafts when they come in and approving the final report. That is a key role that you have. And certainly, owning the findings in presenting them to the public and then implementing them after that. And I know you all will be good at strategizing sort of how to do that, but really at that point, when we turn it over to you, it's yours to do with what you want. Oh, that cut off again. Darn it. Sorry. So these are all the deliverables. There's about 12 on there or so. And really it's the whole laundry list of everything that we turn in. But we just deliver everything in a electronic file to the State Preservation Office and to Jennifer, and it, lives on your server forever. So you can print it whenever you want. So all the high resolution photos you can use and all of that sort of stuff. All right, this is always a question that we get. In anything we do is, the question is what you're doing going to affect me and restrict me in some way? And the answer is no. Anything's going to happen to your property. We're just documenting it. Some people come out and they say, well, you can't take a picture of my house. I say, well, I can actually. I'm in the public right of way and I can do that. Anybody could do that.
Yeah.
Google does that when
Yeah.
they drive up and down the street, right? And you have to appeal to them to get it taken off. This is a little bit different. You cannot opt out of a reconnaissance level survey. If you tell me no and to go away, I will just come back later. And so there's not an opt out for this. And it doesn't really interrupt anyone's use of their property or anything like that. They may not like it, but it's being done completely legally. There's no opt out. I do get that question occasionally. How do I get out of this? So here's just a review of our full schedule. So we're in the March, April time frame here, having this kickoff meeting, going into survey time, and this is really the prime survey time before the trees leaf out, right? Snow is definitely gone. It's definitely warm enough So we're gonna be hitting the street here pretty soon, and yeah, I'll let you know when that's coming.
Okay.
And start collecting that data, so. And then the preparation of deliverables, the next phase, and then approval and submit. So we're done by the end of September. All right. Questions? Anything? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to doing this and yeah, being back here in a few months. And of course, I mean, you know, reach out through Jennifer if you have questions or thoughts on anything while we're out there.
Great.
So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We moved,
D&E.
okay, so the walkthrough, video tours.
We're gonna be meeting with the people in the house next to the Draper Historic Theater, but they've requested that we come and talk to them after Easter. They have some things going on. And then we're planning on Friday to do a call with Melissa and me and Jason to Bryce, just to let him know, hey, you know, we haven't forgotten you. And, you know, we had a little delay, but we're going to be picking up again in the summer. And just to introduce Melissa
Do we
to
have a
him.
time actually?
No, we don't yet.
Oh,
Not
okay.
that I know of. I was gonna ask you that, if you knew. I haven't heard of one. So we'll wait to hear. So that's basically what we're doing right now for those.
And Bryce is the videographer.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
What I thought, I want to double check.
Yeah, Jason just wanted to make sure he was still in the loop and knew
Okay.
that we are still planning on using
Okay.
him.
All right, and 3E.
We eat the Kimball Station. So Nancy, you had walked around, let's see.
Yeah, actually when Kirk came the last time and he was listing all those homes over in Kimball, I'm like, I haven't seen a lot of those. So I decided to go out and look at homes over there because we don't have any on our walking tours from that area. And so I was thinking it might, you know, this is kind of proposing that we add some, I mean,
And honestly, if we're looking at this list, I think it may be another tour.
yes, that's what I was
Separate,
thinking.
yeah,
Yeah,
not a
separate
tour.
like Kimball's Junction tour.
Yeah.
And just to be put online, obviously, because we are not doing the printed. But
Yeah.
I think eventually it'd be really nice if even on the printed ones that we do have, I don't know how many we have left, if we were able to do a
So many.
we were able to attach a QR code that would go to our
Yeah.
online.
We've been doing that.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that will bring these up if when they get
Mhm.
put on.
Yeah.
Okay, so this home, I went to the Historic Society with Lynn and we looked up what we could find about each home. And this one, for some reason, came up built as 1992. However, Thela and Vern lived there long before that, so.
That was probably when it was converted to commercial.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have a year when it was originally built, but that couple, it was funny because Lynn found out that she knew the guy that Thela married after Vern died, so. Kind of a small world.
Yeah,
thing, but
we do have a reconnaissance level survey that Kirk did last fall, that looked at the Kimball's Lane area and our town center area. So the years should be in that document.
Oh, okay, good. So maybe we
Yeah.
can get the year off that, because I
Yeah.
tried to look online and that one did not have.
Yeah, we should be able to.
Okay, that'd be great.
Well, I had hoped I'd have time to actually look at this document before, but I didn't.
Yeah, I actually wanted to call Paul and ask him about some house too, but I didn't do that.
But yeah,
So
we should be able to look up all of these houses.
okay, a lot of them I have the
think they're-
year on them.
Because I
so-
think they're close enough.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
one I don't have, like, they had a name of what the house is in the Historic Society, but it's not anyone that, you know, I've heard of before. And so I honestly think we need to go and like talk to the people if they know any history about it. But this was built in 1910.
I don't know if it'll be contributing, because I feel like they've changed the outside.
Okay,
But we can look and see.
yeah, well, this is
What
just a
the
look and see
survey
what do we
is,
want to
yeah.
do?
Yeah.
What would we like to add? And there's also some older homes. There's a Rasmussen home that, and there's not anything standing there now, so. This is part of, there's Niels, Dick, and John Boberg that Niels bought this whole area and then they built. And the question I have for Paul is Niels' house still standing? Because I didn't see anything. And this is John Boberg's house. And we're not sure, I mean, supposedly he built a house in 1890 and we're not sure if this is the same house. If it's just been changed or if something is brand new. I mean, they just tore down what was there and put this up instead.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I've been in the front part, years and years ago.
They did
with
change
the
it.
business.
Oh, okay.
And I'm talking decades. It's been a long time.
Okay.
But the front part was absolutely stunning. Fireplace, woodwork.
Oh, okay. There are old
Whether they've
pictures.
changed it or not, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a family that wrote a letter and sent old pictures from the home that was at this address.
Okay.
So, and it does look different than what this is, but that isn't, something we can show of an old home too that was there. And this is Andrew Day home, was built in 1895. They have a big wall in front of it now, so it's kind of hard to see. This one was built in 1890, and I could not find any names or anything in the Historic Society about it. It is an old home, but I mean, again, I might need to just go talk to some people and see if they know anything about it. And this is Sonny Rasmussen's home, who, he had like a store here.
This
Stuff
is a
too.
pumpkin patch.
Yes,
right?
yeah, they did like, people came out, National Geographic came out to talk to them about it and do like a whole thing on it. But the Rasmussen other older home is somewhere just straight across on 9th East, but there's no home there now. But like I don't know if it's his grandfather or, I know
there
Antoine.
used to, next to Zions Bank, there used to be an older home that was torn down maybe 5-6 years ago. So
Okay,
that might have.
okay, maybe,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
This definitely, I think, should be on it. This, behind this home was the first railroad station of Draper. And the person that lived in it was the station master.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and it's really, they have like painting on the bottom and stuff too. The people that lived there, I'm trying to remember if they were from Sweden or some country though.
Animal.
Yeah.
Cute. Mountain, that's cool.
This one is from 1945. Obviously older. I don't have very much information or stories. This home, Lynn and I found out in their book, there's a picture and there's something up in the air and it says, this is before the home was hit by a meteor.
Oh.
And so we have to find out. Lynn's going to ask at their meeting if anybody knows about this story.
Here, that's
Okay. But this home was an older home, and there's a very old picture in the Historic Society of the previous home, and parts of it are included in this home now.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
We'll report on what she finds.
I know. But there's a lot of stories on like this home and this area and stuff. So I think this one would be a good one to include just for the older stories too of, previous pictures we can put up in the older home.
That's it.
Okay.
We did have Len Kimball's house on here.
Yeah.
On 118th South. That is going to be torn down, so I didn't include it.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to do anything about that.
Well, we have.
I mean, the whole area was named after him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the meeting, we're going to be going over demo permits.
Okay.
So Edge Homes has, well, four homes that they're going to be demoing. 3 of them, we actively have demo permits right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Lynn Kimball's is one of them. The others I don't think are really contributing. And
Right. Yeah. I went and looked at those homes. All of them have holes in them right now.
Fire and police
Oh,
did
yes.
training on it. So yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, so I didn't include one's property because.
So I guess we could just decide which of them we want to include and that we think would be good to add to that area.
Okay.
Or and if someone else knows about other ones too that we can look
Yeah.
at too,
Okay.
so.
And the reconnaissance level survey should be on the Draper cloud. So you guys should be able to access that and be able to
Look at the other
look,
home.
yeah, look at the other homes.
Okay.
If you can't find it, let me know.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Can you share this document with us so we can look at it?
Yes.
Cool.
I sure can.
Take a look. Good work, Nancy.
Yeah,
I
really
think that's
good.
a great idea. It's
Okay.
It's an area that I feel like doesn't really get lumped
Right.
in often. but
right.
It looks like there's some old homes there that I wouldn't have guessed, like 1800s.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Okay, going back into our regularly scheduled programming here. 3B, Historical Society Coordination.
Thanks a lot, because it sounds like you're leaving early. Would you be able to go to the next meeting?
Yeah.
Perfect. My schedule does not allow me to
Okay.
go for the next one, so that'd be great if you can go to that.
Okay.
But some updates from that meeting is very fun. Let me look. So I did remind them that Nancy's brother-in-law is the grandson of Ebenezer Brown. It sounded like Lane said that he would contact you. I don't know if he
good.
did.
Okay.
But he said he would do that. And then talking about the banquet that's in June, I think.
July.
July.
Yeah,
okay.
I like it.
Yeah, they're looking at potentially getting a group together to play like music from the the 1900s. To like play about 30 minutes during the dinner. And it sounds like he was gonna reach out to I don't know if it was the school or I think it's a school.
Yeah, the schools, both
Yeah.
the schools.
Yeah. So yeah, Lane Wright is making that group. And then about the grants, I have a note in here that said they called Kelly twice, but they haven't been able to reach. Is Kelly doing the grants that you asked
Oh, it's the
about?
oral history,
Oral history.
which are actually on hold right now.
Yeah, those
Oh,
were put on.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was through SHPO and that got put on.
Okay, yeah, they were asking about the deadline because they were not sure about it. And they also wanted to know what the amount was. So
3,000.
3,000.
Yeah,
per
I'll
grant.
talk to them about
Okay,
it.
yes, I'll let you. So yeah, those are the updates.
Okay.
Then did you want to talk inventory?
Yeah, inventory. I want to get back out there to do another inventory date. I'm looking at my calendar and it looks like March 30th, which is not this coming Monday, but the Monday after I'll be available. I'll reach out to Lynn to double check that that'll work. But is anyone available that day? Does that work for people?
What time?
6 to 8.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'll double check with Lynn and then I'll send out an email to everyone
Okay.
verifying that date and time.
I will not be bringing anybody to help that time.
Okay, darn it. We tried so hard. All right, National Register of Historic Places.
Yeah, just letting you guys know, Chapel by the Wayside is officially on the National Register. That got approved. And then just a contract update. So last meeting, you guys approved going with Coral for the 2 nominations that we're going to work on. We're working through the contract now. Hopefully we'll have that here shortly and we'll get going.
I have a question for you. From the volunteer breakfast, the mayor mentioned
Oh,
something
yeah.
about there being a museum in that chapel.
They haven't decided the use, so it
Okay.
could be a museum.
Okay.
That might be a good use for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
we went.
So we'll see.
TBD.
That would be something that we would organize and
Okay.
propose and,
Okay.
you know, maybe shift the stuff from there to there, you know, once you've categorized it all and figured out like what really should be displayed, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Historic Society thought that that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, well, it certainly could,
Okay.
yeah. I was gonna say though, for the banquet, the schools aren't in session, so sometimes
Yeah,
it
well,
can be
that-
hard to get.
Well, that's why
stuff
they
in.
want them to do a flyer so they can
Mhm.
pass out to the students. So if the group of them want to
Yeah.
organize something, they can do it
Yeah.
on their own without.
Mhm.
But
takers.
what about reaching out to one of the private music schools.
Ooh,
Like,
that's
isn't it
good.
School of Rock, and then there's like another one? They
I'll
often-
mention that when I go to the meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
one band that always
Great
wins
idea.
Battle of
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bands, that's
Yeah.
from School of Rock.
Okay,
Yeah,
Alright.
so they're in session year round, so they might have a.
That's a
big
good
kid.
idea.
Yeah.
I'll share that
Yeah.
with you, yeah.
Piano place.
Yes, that's the other one I was thinking of, which might work for this, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good idea.
All right, jumping down, 3F, walking tour brochures.
Okay, so, as you know, we don't have any more of the display items. We don't have any money to buy any. So I did ask, the Historical Society, and then told me that they do have permission to buy them.
Oh.
So we just need to get the order information and the company where to order them, what to order, to Lynn. And they will order them and they'll be able to be reimbursed and everything, because they don't actually have a budget. They have to ask every time if they want, if they can buy something, but she did ask and they said yes.
Okay.
So she will get, that ordered, so we start doing something before July 1 with the brochures again. And then, I'm the historian for the, Sons of the Utah Pioneers, the Brigham Young chapter. It meets at, in Orem at the UVU Culinary Arts Institute. And so we have this fabulous gourmet dinner, and then we have a wonderful lecture. Tom Alexander is our chair for the lectures, so we have fabulous people. And the last lecture was, I'm sorry, I can't remember his last name, Jay, but he's a professor at BYU of history. And his main area is Western history and Indian history and American Indian. And so he was giving a lecture on sheep industry in Utah. And so since we had all these homes here in Fort Street and around Draper that were basically able to be built because of the sheep industry, why I asked if I could hand out our brochure. And so before the meeting, I was able to, and he did not know that Draper was such a center for the sheep. So he was really surprised, and he gave me his contact. He was very interested in finding more information about sheep in Draper and the money that was made so that some of these big homes could be built. Even that one has sheep up on the roof. So middle silhouettes.
Cute, yeah.
And so I was able to briefly talk about sheep in Draper and then hand out brochures, and I had a lot of takers. A lot of people said they wanted to come and see the houses, and they wanted to go to the Draper Museum and Historical Society Museum. And so that's all I was able to do there, but we do have the display things coming, and we do have the sheep. And I was able to pass out the brochures, and then so that was pretty exciting. To be able to do that.
Fantastic, thank you. I'm glad you have those with you.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, 3G, America 250 participation.
I did not attend the last meeting, so I do not have an update. But the next meeting's April 1st, and I will be there.
Jennifer, I think you can just have Krista be on America 250.
Okay.
Because I'm not able to go to those meetings.
Okay.
Kelly Chalber goes, you can always ask her what they talked about. So.
Yeah, she sent me a list
Okay.
of what they went over, but it sounded like they rehashed a lot of what we discussed at the first meeting, so not a lot was, I think, decided. So, but the next one maybe.
All right. 3H, Juneteenth.
All right. So if you read the draft of the article that I shared at the last meeting, it hasn't changed. We were trying to pin down just a couple more details, like we are not sure if George Banka brought his actual children with him here because his wife had passed away before he moved to Draper. So I think that he probably sent his children to live with his brother-in-law where they would have a mom in Wells, and they moved to Wellsville. We don't know, and it doesn't really matter because we're focusing on the enslaved Bankhead, the enslaved people that George Bankhead owned. I just would like to know who was in the household here so that we have clarity, because if it was just him and then he had, you know, a number of enslaved people, most of them were children, then that's a little bit different than if he was also somehow trying to raise his 3 young children by himself. And like the one baby was born here after they migrated in 1848. So that's kind of the one outstanding thing. Annie's been great about looking at ancestry and whatnot to see if we can track down where any of the other after slavery ended. If we can track down sort of later in life where some of these people were, and we haven't found anything that really changes what we have in the draft.
I've done a lot of research but I haven't come up with anything. I've checked the census for 1860, but they just seem to disappear.
There is a Bankhead family in Draper.
Yeah, still.
Yeah,
Well, I
well,
don't know, maybe they're.
Is there? I don't know.
oh, Lynn's going to look into that. At
Is
the
she?
next meeting, she's going to ask the members if they know any Bankhead. She said, you know, probably somebody knows. She didn't know any. She's been here for over 50 years, but she didn't know. But here's a
Yeah.
You should ask.
Just a little.
here's a
Are you
photograph
looking
of Lynn's
for
family.
historic Bankhead?
Here's a
Figure.
Great grandpa.
Figure people here. Oh, what is this, David?
It's a picture of George Washington Bankhead
Oh, wow.
and his brother.
John Henderson Bankhead. So when I was looking at Bankheads, and this is really off the Draper topic, but the family in Wellsville was large and powerful and connected to like Senator Bankhead from Alabama, who was in Congress in what, maybe
This
the
is
30s.
George Bankhead that had the slaves.
Oh, okay.
That is great. Will you send that?
I got those. Or-
Yes.
So here's the thing that we have to decide. The draft is 1,200 words, and Alex gave us about a 500 word space.
Oh.
Publish it. I know.
They're mean about going out.
Yeah.
I was in trouble.
It's the publication is small.
And we could have them put the full article on the website,
Yeah, I was about to say that.
and direct people to the website.
For more.
Yeah, for more
yeah,
information.
You could try to end it with a little bit of a hook. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
if you want to find out, you know, like,
Yeah.
there's more,
Yeah.
the whole article's on the website.
Can you, right, which would allow us to put more images with it, because
Mhm.
he really didn't think that they were going to put images.
No.
You should at least put one, at least something.
Yeah,
Jen,
at
maybe
least
did
one.
Alex, I can't make the decision.
That's right.
Alex, I said they get at least one.
So please.
And here's some pictures of the after. The black.
Okay.
We have some dumb pictures.
I don't know, I haven't, she just sent it to me, so I haven't how pickable they are, but anyway, we do have the picture of George Washington Bankhead and his brother, and of course, he was the one that was the
Yeah.
John. He was the one who
It's honestly, it's just about putting the dandelion seeds out and having as many conversations as you can. Yep.
So,
So if people find anything else before, I think he needs the draft in April, or the manuscript in
Yeah.
April.
Yeah.
I will just work on paring down a version to go in, it's Draper forward, right?
Yeah.
Yes. In Draper forward. And the nice thing about putting the longer piece on the web is that if other information turned up later, we can always add it in.
Yep. Yeah.
So does that sound okay?
Sounds good.
Thank
Great.
you.
Okay.
Thanks, Wendy.
And, also on this research, I don't know what I should mention about, the senior center wanting to have a program about the history of Draper. And so, that's gonna happen. We don't have a date yet, but, Lynn contacted, what's the lady's name who wrote the book, recently the picture book about Draper? She came here and got the information about what we do.
Oh, for
The-
the Draper Journal, they're,
She did that, she came here one time and interviewed, Annie and some people about what we do, and then it appeared in the, I think it was.
oh, the Draper, yeah, the Draper Journal. Yeah,
Okay.
that was, Catherine Weinstein?
Yeah, Weinstein
Yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, Lynn's contacted her and she's willing to come and do the presentation at the senior center about the history of Draper.
Great.
That was one of the other things that we had on the agenda to be talked about with the historical people, but anyway, that's going to happen, so.
Great.
And they'll want somebody to also mention, at the end about what we do, so.
Okay.
As soon as we have a date, I'll give you further information on that.
Perfect. Okay, 3I, Draper Ethnic and Minority History Research, David?
Bonanza. So I was able to make contact again with, Mike Akagi. Do you remember he went on a mission and he's back now and he's recovering from surgery, but voila.
Look.
So now he's given me permission to scan this. And then once it's scanned, and I give him a thumb drive while he will try and get some members of his family to put on family search. And then he will help, and he has some older aunts and that are still alive, and so they'll try and do more than they can about identification. So, and then he hasn't decided, he's thinking about whether he will then give a thumb drive to the Historical Society or if he will give the actual photographs and things. He has to decide. He said he's not feeling all that well since he had the operation, and he just doesn't want to make that decision right now. And then I only have photocopies, but he has a lot of photocopies of mostly that buildings but they're much later than the 1997 and so forth of the buildings that were on the Akagi farm. So I don't know. I'll have to talk. He didn't really want to talk a lot because he wasn't feeling well. But anyway, there's some of the other photographs of, at least we have documentation and we can give those to the Historical Society for their library. But
Great.
of course, this is one of the families that we already know a lot about, the Kagi family, and we'd like to know more because we know there were other Japanese families here as well as other ethnic groups. But anyway, really have, and he has more photograph albums that I thought we were going to scan, but then he went on this mission to the Philippines and he didn't want to do anything about disturbing the people that rented his home because they were in the basement of his home and he didn't want to have anybody go in, even his brother, and get it. So, but he said he's willing to work on that as his health permits. So
Great.
he's still a fairly young man, so hopefully and he really is interested in the Akagi family having their footprint in the Draper's history. So.
Great.
So that was really exciting to make contact with him again, and he's still interested and this was something from before too, that if you haven't, and the house on the Akagi farm was originally owned by W.B. Ennis, and then So it shows you what the house looked like at one time. And this is the LDS tithing house that still exists.
So that is still there.
We
And there
thought
are photos of that.
And then taken, destroyed, but Nancy did go by and was identified as that. So we really, I don't know what happened to the owner. He was the one that actually put me in contact with Mike, Akagi. And he was really interested in getting on his a plaque for his house and everything. And then he just went cold turkey and when talking about it, apparently somebody gave him some information that if you go with the historical plaque and everything, you lose some property rights or something.
Yeah.
But we really should do
We,
something about documenting that, the tithing house. That was really something.
yeah, we really worked with the new owners after they bought the Akagi house to try to get them to put it on the National Register. They were, it sounded like they were interested at first and then they kind of went away and then they started kind of ignoring us. So we let it lie.
Yeah.
So I think we could, try again later, but I think let's work with Mike Akagi to get the research that we can from him that will help inform the history that we have of the property and the structures.
Right.
And hopefully one day we'll be able to get the owner to want to put it in the National Register or be interested in hearing what benefits that does have.
Yeah. Especially since it goes back to, it was originally the Ennis family's home too,
Mhm.
so.
Great. All right, I'm so glad that you made that contact.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Good job, David. All right, Widowmaker.
Okay, so I have a couple updates for you on that. I'm just gonna open up a couple things here. We do have a signed agreement with the county. I have gotten with our Public Works team and our Parks and Recs team. I think that we will be able to do the work in-house. So we won't have to worry about that. It'll be more timing and then materials and stuff will probably have to come out of my budget because you guys probably don't have.
Don't have any.
I'll take whatever dollars I can from yours and then the rest from mine. But Parks will be able to relocate the irrigation and Public Works will be able to do the concrete work and the posting. So that's not, yeah, so that should work out. So I do need to order the mounting plate that will have the county logo on it. So the quote we got from Enviro Signs for that mounting plate was $830. Now we did look at that. I'm pretty sure I added this to the budget. Yeah, the mounting plate we had added to the budget. And this is kind of figuring 8,000, well over 8,000 for the reconnaissance level survey with the rest of that amount coming in the new year. So I don't know exactly how much will get billed before July 1st, but the majority of their work will be done before July 1st. So yeah, so if I can get a motion to accept this bid and get that ordered, I'll go ahead and get with EnviroSigns and get it ordered.
So I move that we accept the bid.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to write.
She's doing notes, sorry.
My hand is falling asleep. Okay,
Okay, great.
motion made.
Okay, so I'll get that ordered. Given the time it took to get the original plaque, I imagine it'll be a couple months before we get the mounting plate. So once I have an idea of timing on that, I can get with Public Works and Parks and Rec and the county and you guys can figure it out. I know Jason wanted to have, once the plaque's installed, have a little ceremony and
That'd be good.
invite the Kimball family and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Great. That's exciting to hear. All right. Demolition permits.
Yeah, so, Edge Homes property there by the Kimball's Front Runner Station. We do have demolition permits in for that project. So this is the Olivari Farm on Kimball's Lane across from the Kimball's Track Station. Why that's not loading there. So there's four homes that they'll demo. I think we have demo permits for 3 of them right now. But Lynn Kimball's home on Kimball's Lane, these 2 homes here off 119th, and then this third one off 119th South. We do have images of the different homes. The ones on 119th South really aren't, well, one of them isn't in the period, but the others really aren't contributing. But we'll kind of just look through the pictures. This one's too new. Let's see, I don't have pictures of the third one because they haven't applied for that one yet. It's in better shape than the others, but it's still not contributing, I think. And then this is Lynn Kimball's house. Edge did get us pictures from before they let police and fire do any training that they got from the Kimball family. So we do have some images of what the property used to look like. I think this is right before they sold it. And if you drive past it now, there's holes in the roof and all kinds of stuff. So I think that's, I mean, the images, so we can kind of document what was there, plus the information we have in the reconnaissance level survey, I think is sufficient for the commission, but I wanted to let you know that those are coming down. Yeah.
Is this the amended agenda?
It looks like it's not. And I did send that, yeah, there. Sorry, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I added.
Perfect. So I got a call from Lynn Orgel yesterday. Oh no, my message went away. There it is. Okay, so she said that Sherry Smith, who lives in one of the Smith historic homes on Relation Street, is doing some preservation work on their windows, and she has a friend that is interested in selling some historic bricks. She wanted to know if we were familiar with anyone that would be interested in these historic bricks. They are from the Carlisle home in Alpine. That's all that she knew. But they are selling these bricks in order to recoup some of the money so that they can keep working on preservation, since we didn't get CLG grants this year. So if anybody knows of anyone that is also doing restoration work that needs bricks from a certain time period, they should reach out to Sherry Smith.
Okay.
So keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, perfect. All right, action items.
Okay. I have that. I will share that document from Nancy on the Kimball's area homes, and I'll also send you guys a link to that RLS for that area. Nancy will be attending the next Historical Society meeting. I will get with Dave and Lynn on the brochure holders to let them know what I've ordered in the past. Annie, you're working on, coordinating another inventory day with the Historical Society. Krista, you'll be attending America 250 meetings. Wendy, you're gonna, continue working on the Draper Forward article for Juneteenth, and then, so we'll have one for the website and one for the Draper Forward, and then, David, you're gonna be working on scanning the Micah Coggy information and working with him. Anything I'm missing? Yeah.
Okay. Great. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
And motion.
Okay, and
I'll
second.
second.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Yay.
Okay.
Is it okay?